anthem of Canada. Go ahead.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the truth north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Thank you.
Wow, really a wow. Proud of you, Josephine. Thank you. It's all production headache, yeah. Good evening, Canada. From a platform of Voice of Canada, a weekly talk show, your host Asphandiar Wadiwalla, my charming co-host Ghada Hamdani. We have got a fantastic guest speaker today, our Member of Parliament from Mississauga, Meadowville, and Federal Minister of Small Business here in Canada. We warmly welcome Honorable Rechie Valdez.
Thank you both of you for having me on
It's
here again.
always a pleasure to have you. It is like your own house channel.
So
Okay.
welcome, Minister, to the show, Voice of Canada. I'm the co-host, Ghada Hamdani of Voice of Canada. So we'll start with you, Minister. If you can tell us and the viewers about what have you been doing as our MP while serving as Minister of Small Business.
Absolutely. Thank you so much again for having me. I'm so proud to be able to represent our riding of Mississauga
Definitely.
Streetsville. And it's been really amazing to be able to do many different things, supporting the local community, but as well supporting small businesses across the country. Small businesses are anything but small. They make up 98%.
They are part of our economy.
Exactly. They employ millions of Canadians. And they're like 1/3, if not a large driver of our entire economy. One of the things that I'm proud to do is be able to represent Mississauga Streetsville. And in particular, I just want to highlight the fruits of our labor with regards to the $113 million of investment with our housing accelerator fund.
Awesome.
That is already making waves, and you can see the announcement today from the city of Mississauga.
Lovely.
That investment of $113 million is going towards affordable housing, and it's developing 35,200 homes right here in Mississauga.
Wow.
That's huge.
That
We know
will
that
solve
there's
the major
yes,
problem,
yes.
which
a
is
huge
acute
problem,
now,
for sure.
gone acute. Richie, would like our viewers to inform that what were your first year's achievements, all your first year's achievements this year, what you did,
Absolutely.
major items.
For sure. The first thing, as you both know, former baker, was an entrepreneur myself.
Wow.
One of the things that we've been able to put forward in Budget 2024 is our continued investment in Futurepreneur. That's $60 million, empowering young entrepreneurs aged 18 to 39. So if you're a young entrepreneur, aspiring entrepreneur, make sure to check out Futurepreneur. Check out their website. They provide funding for young entrepreneurs, but also that networking and support. Continued support, and in that regard, is very important. Second, I think it's really important for all small businesses to know that if you're currently transacting with both Visa and MasterCard, you go to businesses and you're making payments, those interchange fees will be reduced by 27% this fall. So that will be
Very
money,
nice.
$1 billion being saved over.
It was
over 5 years.
29%, am I right? 29, 30%.
27%.
But you reduced to 27.
You got, and it'll take place this fall.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a great achievement. You agreed to reduce
For sure.
the financial institutions.
And the third most important thing, I think, is that, small businesses have been asking for the Canada carbon rebate.
Uh-huh.
So we have $2.6 billion going back to approximately 600,000 corporations and businesses across Canada, and that will be going out as well very soon. So as long as you filed your taxes by July 15th,
Yeah.
you'll be able to get your
Get
Canada
some.
carbon rebate.
Lovely. Lovely.
Okay.
Go ahead.
That's good. Okay, so what steps have you taken to boost government procurement for innovative small and medium-sized establishments?
So today, federally, there's billions of dollars being spent in procurement, running government. But one of the things that I've been advocating for is ensuring that federal procurement includes procuring from small businesses. And in our budget 2024, our government made a commitment to small businesses that we're able to continue to help and allocate some of that funding to small businesses. And for some small businesses that are really micro or small, it can mean the difference between having them transform and become much larger scale businesses, hiring more employees. And that's the opportunity that's available for small businesses once this is implemented.
Minister Valdez, we have also seen and read in the media that you have done a great work for our indigenous people, especially for the youth. And have you formed any policy to assist the youth to become entrepreneurs?
Absolutely. Our government continues to prioritize economic reconciliation, and that includes supporting Indigenous entrepreneurs. I was recently in the Yukon and made an announcement of $25 million that will go towards NACA, supporting not just young entrepreneurs, but women entrepreneurs as well.
Oh, that's amazing.
One of the things that I'm so proud of is every single time I meet an Indigenous entrepreneur, their business model always has a portion of which that goes back and gives back to the community continuously. And it's very inspiring to see what these incredible Indigenous entrepreneurs are able to do in many different industries as well.
Okay,
Go
that's very good. Minister Valdez, the current affordability crisis has considerably increased, leading to reverse migration, either to smaller provinces, our neighbors, United States, or even back to their own countries or country of origin. Okay, what is your response to this situation?
We recognize this, and what I can say is we all know this. My parents are immigrants. Immigrants to Canada make such a significant contribution. We know in Canada our population is aging, and immigrants play such a vital role in making sure that we're filling the jobs that we need to keep our economy going. And I'm so very proud of all of the things that they've been able to do. We recognize, though, that there's challenges with affordability. That's why we're putting forward $10 a day childcare. Actually, my daycare for my son is like right around the corner, which I used to drive to very close to the studio. But $10 a day childcare makes it more affordable for families.
Every household, yeah.
Exactly. And then it also enables women to be able to focus on their careers, open their business. And that is very important. And of course, the dental care plan. We've rolled that out for young children as well as for seniors. So now 2 million seniors across Canada have already signed up for this. These are just some of the measures we're doing to make things more affordable for Canadians.
Very good. Minister Valdez, will you inform what is the health of our overall economy currently?
I would say, based on what we've seen in the news, it's pretty incredible that coming out of the pandemic, a lot of economic specialists, they thought that our economy would tank. But as you can see, we've been able to recover from it. And you saw in the news lately, the government of Canada, the Bank of Canada was able to reduce interest rates.
And it's the second time.
Exactly.
Second time.
And this is huge. This is not just we're the first in the G7 to reduce it, and now the first to reduce it for the second time.
Okay, that's very good, actually. So now we'll go to the major crisis we have in Ontario, which is the cry thefts, right? So we'd like to know what our government actually took measures to prevent and protect consumers.
And this is car theft, did you say?
Yes, yeah.
So with regards to car theft, I'm not sure if you saw the announcement, but Minister LeBlanc made a huge announcement of an investment of $3.5 million towards a large X-ray scanner. We know that the challenge that we have right now with the CBSA is trying to make sure that we're able to stop and prevent the cars from being deported elsewhere in other places. But with this large X-ray scanner, it will help the CBSA and those
to
keeping
check
an
more
eye
containers.
and to do it much more
And
efficient.
it has reduced. Now we are not hearing that frequently that the cars were
Exactly.
taken away.
We've seen a reduction of 14% in auto thefts. And what I just want to give a shout out to our police
Police,
department,
we
our
should
local,
salute them, yeah.
because they're doing a
Definitely,
tremendous
they have really
job.
worked hard to crack down on those. But the only problem is that our law, the next day, those criminals are out on bail. That's the biggest worries.
And we will continue to work. We remain committed to work with our different levels of government. And we've put forward the National Action Plan on combating auto theft. And this is taking those measures that we need to make sure we're addressing auto theft.
Okay, so what are the causes of these, it's like because we see some young kids are participating in these criminal activities.
Young as 14 to 16 years
Yes,
age.
yeah.
The kids, and especially they are students and maybe some on work permits and all that stuff.
Yeah, and I think it's really unfortunate that they're targeting young people who are vulnerable. And again, I think it's very important that through our National Action Plan on combating auto theft, we're going to continue to work with different levels of government, not just municipal, but provincial, to try and find ways that we can continue to protect our vulnerable youth as well as prevent more auto thefts from happening.
Yes, I believe it's like the economy here plays roles, right? And with your planning and stuff, if they start executing, probably this will help a lot, right?
Absolutely.
Minister Valdez, as you are aware that our government gave work permits to thousands of people, especially from Southeast Asia and other countries, and they are already here. But this current year, there are so many, 11% are unemployed among those permit holders. And at the same time, the Canadian unemployment rate is 7.4%. So is government doing anything to help them? Because they are frustrated. Those came to work here with the permits and assurance by the government to get work, and they are not getting any jobs.
100%. Now, our government is continuing to help ensure that we're able to create those opportunities for Canadians to be able to get the jobs and seek employment. And I just want to say, on August 16, I will be hosting my very first job fair in Mississauga,
Lovely.
Streetsville. So from 12 to 5 p.m. at the Portuguese Cultural Center. If there's anyone out there that needs a job or that needs help with their resume, interviewing skills, we have a full job fair. Come on down August 16 from 12 to 5.
And will the employers be there also to?
There will be many different agencies. And many different, who will provide
Lovely
employment
Oh,
opportunities.
that's amazing because it's like people, kids graduated from universities, from schools, and they need jobs, and that's a great.
It's amazing. So hopefully, if you need a job, you can certainly come check it out.
Okay, now we'll go somewhere else actually. So, Minister Valdez, our healthcare system has been falling apart over the last 2 years, causing significant suffering for Ontarians, despite promises from Ontario government, provincial government, to solve health issues. What is our federal government doing in this regard?
Well, I want to touch on a couple things. The first thing is, as a federal government, it's important for us to continue to remain committed to supporting both provinces and territories through our health transfers. We send billions of dollars from the federal government to the different provinces and territories. It's important for us to then ensure that those provinces and territories are staying committed to ensuring the funds are going to the right place, which is improving our healthcare, making sure they're right sizing if anyone needs more salaries, and improving the healthcare system as a whole. And the one thing I want to say is that we've also rolled out pharmacare, and then the two huge benefits from our pharmacare plan. One is it's being able to help those who are in need of diabetic medication. I know many family members of mine. I know many who suffer from diabetes, and it's hard for someone to choose between paying for their diabetic medication or putting food on the table. So it's certainly helping with that. And then second is for women who may need contraceptives, that will be free for women.
Free. That's a very good sign.
Yeah, that's good.
Minister Valdez, are you aware of the fact that even since last year, reverse migration has started from Canada, which is really a matter of concern for us. And about the figures have been released, is 165,000 people left our province of Ontario. Some went to United States, few went to other provinces, and some went back home. So what the government is doing to stop the reverse migration,
Yeah, and I think you bring up something very important, which is that we want Canadians to remain in the country, to be able to contribute here, get a job. But I think one of the biggest barriers to having people stay here is housing.
Housing.
We're currently going through a housing crisis, which we've never seen before since World War II. And so we have an ambitious plan through our national housing strategy to build more homes faster. Through Budget 2024, we're ensuring that we're able to build close to 4 million homes over the next few years to ensure that we're closing that gap. And if Canadians are able to get a home, also that is affordable for them to be able to have, then they can stay here and continue to live in our country. And it's great because I just drove in from Durham region where I made an announcement there, again, building more houses for more communities.
Awesome.
And we've secured agreements with 178 municipalities who have signed up to the Housing Accelerator Fund. This is a big deal. And I really appreciate all the municipalities who've been working with us to accelerate the production of more homes,
houses,
including in Mississauga.
Lovely.
Okay, that's good.
Lovely. Go ahead.
Okay, so Minister Valdez, do you foresee our Honorable Prime Minister reshuffling his cabinet after the summer break?
The rumors are there.
Yeah, the rumors
That
are
they soon after the summer vacation, he will be reshuffling the federal cabinet.
What I can say is those are certainly rumors, but I remain committed to working
To your
hard
work, yeah,
and
definitely.
to the writing of Mississauga Streetsville and my portfolio.
Definitely. We'll be taking a short break and we'll be back with you soon. Welcome back after a short break in our weekly talk show, Voice of Canada. Your host, Asphandiar Wadiwalla, my co-host, Ghada Hamdani, and our valued Honorable Minister, Rechie Valdez. Welcome back again.
Thank you. Thanks for
After the
having me.
short break. So go ahead.
Okay, Minister, would you mind to give us some highlight on C64 on pharmacare, please?
Absolutely. So earlier I already mentioned the benefits of pharmacare, but this bill puts it into like formality and it makes it law. So again, any of you who need diabetic medication, you will be able to receive your diabetes medication for free. And second, for any women who need any form of contraceptives, on our government website, we list all the benefits to our pharmacare plan, but it makes it law.
Okay, that's wonderful.
It implements it.
Minister Valdez, I would like to ask, give us the highlight about Bill C-57, Canada-Ukraine Free Trade. As you belong to a small business, so what that agreement means?
Yeah, this is a huge free trade agreement. It ensures that we continue to build our ties with Ukraine and continues to support the free trade. I mean, in my portfolio, there's many small businesses that are looking to trade elsewhere and to work with many different countries. This ensures that we're supporting Ukraine in their fight, in their war, but then it also supports the free trade between our two countries.
Okay, that's amazing too. Okay, now we're actually the time is running out, so we'd like to.
Now, I've got 2-3 questions to ask. So, yeah.
Okay.
So, Minister Valdez, would you be kind enough to let us know about the debts we are servicing? In what we saw from the Statistics Canada's figures, in 2022, we paid about 8.5 million as servicing our debts. And again, but in 1 year's time, we paid 11.5. And that's a very big amount, which is going to debt servicing.
Yeah.
So what are we doing?
I think I want to just give some context to debt, because I think it's important for us to remember that when we all experienced the pandemic and we all got locked down, we were there for Canadians and we were there for small businesses. And if you take a look at Canadians, we were there to help them with ensuring that we are not going to abandon them, but being there for them. And for small businesses, we provided the CEBA loans, rent and wage subsidy. And because of our support, those small businesses were able to keep the lights on,
and to survive,
keep their doors open, and to keep their employees working. We believe in investing in Canadians.
That's
and
true.
Yes, we are putting money out there, but on the contrary, the opposition believes in cuts and in austerity, but we actually believe in continuing to invest in Canadians. And by doing that, we keep our economy going and we could continue to keep that growing. And even though You stated those figures. What I can say is compared to the G7, we're still in a much better position compared to our
other
partners.
countries.
You got it.
Well, while you mentioned SIBA, actually, some companies, they are unable to pay the SIBA loan. I know that you give forgiveness for 2 years, and there is a small interest actually on it. What if these businesses couldn't pay even when these 2 years? Is there a chance that you forgive them or you give them something, extend
or deferral?
Sure.
Yeah.
That's a great question. So what happened was with the SIBA loans, again, just to recap, we had already provided the extension from the previous year to the end of last year. And what we did was we provided small businesses with 3 options. The first one is by January 18, 2024, if they can pay their SIBA loans, they were able to get their forgiveness. And then we extended that until March 18. And if they were able to seek refinancing, meaning if they were able to find some sort of financing situation, again, we would honor and give them back the forgiveness. Now, 82% of businesses have repaid their SIBA loans. For those that were unable to pay, what we did was we turned their SIBA loan into a 3-year fixed low interest 5% loan. So at least it gave them more time to pay off so that they wouldn't have to be burdened.
Yeah, but they have to pay the 60.
Correct. And they just lose the forgiveness in that scenario.
Okay.
Yeah.
Closing.
Okay, now we're closing actually. We're running out of time. It passed very fast with you. It was amazing. So if you can give us final remarks, strong message to Canadians, to us,
At the same time, next year is the election year, federal election year also. So if you can say something about that, are you all ready to go for federal polls?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Always ready, Asky. What I can say is I want to just take the time to thank you, Voice of Canada, for being a strong voice, but also to the residents of Mississauga Streetsville. It's been such a pleasure being able to serve and continue to serve you. And then taking on the new portfolio as the Minister of Small Business, it's been fantastic. I'm inspired by the small business stories I continue to hear and meet. So it's really an honor to serve not just the larger Mississauga Streetsville community, the 1 million Filipinos across Canada, and of course to be the voice for all small businesses as well.
Total is 2.4 million Filipinos here in Canada.
Yes.
Wow. That's, they are big numbers.
Yeah.
So with that remark from our Minister, Rechie Valdez, we will soon be signing off. Keep watching our show every week on Saturdays at 8 p.m. And we are thankful to our honorable guests for coming from a hectic schedule. And she's always there for us whenever we have invited her. So keep coming. It's your own show.
Thank you so much.
So with that, we would say good night, goodbye. God bless Canada. God save the King.